Sherman Ray, and this is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. I know we haven't seen you guys in like a week. I know you don't have to remind me. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes those things do happen, folks, where we try to get on, and for some reason we just can't seem to get the show on. But we will try to be as consistent as we can the rest of the summer, because then I get really busy again. Thank you once again, folks, for you folks that are, this might be the first time you're checking us out on the Nevada Conservative. Our podcast, we come on generally once a week, and I'm going to try to bring it up here as quickly as I can. At least maybe I'll get it up during the break here. But today, guys, we're going to talk about some really big headlines. One of them is about, the DSA and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But another one is about James Carville. Yeah, James Carville made mention of something that I think that it's long overdue. Let's put it that way. It's long overdue. And hopefully, maybe these guys are waking up. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. But we'll find out. Stick around when we come back. We'll start talking about AOC and about some of the cool things that are going on in the Democrat Party, but even more cooler things that are happening in the Republican Party. We'll be back in just a second, folks. It's Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We're back in just a second. Folks, we are back to Sherman Ray. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast, guys. I was really trying to get up our feed here because I know some folks are watching us on our YouTube channel, so I'm going to try to get that up as quickly as I can. Hopefully, I'm not going to make any noise with this thing. But if you'd like to join us on our YouTube channel, I got it up now. You can actually join us. And I want to, before we get going too much further, folks, I want to thank all of the folks who have been watching us on our Facebook page, because that has just gone crazy. I mean, literally gone crazy. That's why I've been so busy, is because we've been so inundated with comments and likes and everything else. Our Facebook page has grown probably sixfold in the last month. That's hasn't been that long. It's been the last couple weeks. Literally, we went from, it's doubled, definitely doubled in size. And so we want to thank you all for checking that out. We've done a lot of really short videos, which made, I forgot all about doing the podcast. Really did, because I guess people really like to hear stuff rather than read stuff, which is fine, I guess. And we want to make sure that we're able to hit all of our social media sites. So I want to thank you all for being a part of that. So go ahead and hit, if you would, go ahead and hit the subscribe button over here. It's someplace over there. Hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, we are definitely going to be getting these back up a lot more. And you can always go to our website at thenevadaconservative.com. We're on Facebook, which is exploding. And or you can email us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. Let's hit some stories here really quick, you guys. Many of you have probably already heard about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and there was a new, polling that came out, and it talked about her, that she has been not just hitting the headlines, but she's in I think it's in New Hampshire poll, that they said that if she ran today, right now she's leading the field. She's at 22%, which is kind of scary. She's at 22%. I think the next person that's closest to her is Pete Buttigieg, and Pete's at 21%. Then I think Gavin Newsom's at 9 or something like that. Can you imagine that? Kamala Harris is like at 5. something like that. I think she's even behind the milkman. Yeah, she's way way behind there. And so the question of the day, though, guys, is Kamala Harris? Excuse me, not Kamala Harris, but is AOC? Is she even ready for the prime time? Yeah. So many of you. So if you've been on our website, you've probably already seen it already. Go to our website. It's at thenevadaconservative.com. And I'm going to pull it up here on my little trusty tablet here. And we put up an article on her on our website. And the question was, is she ready for prime time? Let me pull this up really quick. There it is. Is she ready for prime time? And so here's one of the questions I asked, folks. And I think this is really bears a lot of, I think this is something that people really need to ask themselves. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and you can actually pull this up, guys. Here it is. Is she ready for prime time? And so this is on our Nevada Conservative page. I'm going to put that picture up here, right? So because I know some of you want to see it. Is she ready for prime time? And that's on our website, on the Nevada Conservative. And I want to read just briefly something here, guys. Just published poll, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez taking an early lead in Democrat presidential primaries, outdistancing her more established challengers. Noticeably absent from the polling is Vice President Kamala Harris, we said before. But AOC, the leader of the Democrat Socialists of America, and she really is. I know a lot of people don't think she is, but her and Bernie Sanders are locked at the hips. And really, either she is the leader or he is like the Sith Lord, and she's baby Sith. Okay. And because she's out there, she's the one who endorsed Zohran Mamdani, even though she said she didn't, but she was out there, shaking her thing up and, making sure Zohran got all as much time, what do they call it? Headlines, that kind of thing, as possible. So she's as much at fault as anybody else for Zohran Mamdani becoming the mayor of New York. Is she ready for prime time? Okay. And so I wrote, and if you want to read the whole article, folks, we won't go through the entire thing here, but go to our website at thenevadaconservative.com and you can actually check it out. But I can tell you this right now, folks. There is I don't know, there's a running theme that goes along with being a effective president. Okay, I think that's probably the best way to say it. I'm just looking for the words to say. And what that is an effective president, and all of them have the same sort of vein of truth going through them. These effective presidents all have that same vein going through them. They're generally very visionary. Okay, they generally have a vision. They're casting a vision for the things that they want to do. They're not yes men by any stretch of the imagination. That's why Joe Biden was so bad, because he really had no vision for the country. He was just basically just point me to the ice cream truck, that kind of thing. And so the vision casting, they generally are big deal guys. They will make big deals. And let me give you an example. Thomas Jefferson. Okay, Thomas Jefferson. Okay, some of you are already way ahead of me. The Louisiana Purchase. I mean, that was huge. Okay, doubled the size of America with that one purchase. Okay, that's a big idea guy. You know what I mean? And he's able to follow through. Teddy Roosevelt. He was he outdoorsman, and so what did he say? Let's make some national parks. He and some guys talked about it, and national parks. In addition to that, the Panama Canal. Guys, guess what? That's big. I mean, that changed the entire, hemisphere, because now we didn't have to go all the way around the Isthmus of Panama. We went right through, the canal, that kind of thing. And Donald Trump. Donald Trump, by far, is probably one of the biggest thinkers that's out there. And I know a lot of people are really upset at Donald Trump because he is such a big thinker. But guess what, folks? That's the true mark of a great president, is somebody who can do that. Well, let's go back to AOC now. So is she a big thinker? No. I would say not even close. Really? And you know how you can tell? what has she done? Yeah, what has she done as a congresswoman? Okay, so here's the deal. So many of you, and I ran for office, guys, so I know this, okay? And a congressperson is like a super mayor, okay? You're a super mayor because guess what? Your job is to bring things back to your district, okay? That's what a mayor does. A mayor has a city that they oversee and they bring things back to their city, whatever it is, they promote. They're like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader for their part of the country, okay? A congresswoman or a congressman is like a super mayor because not only are they the ambassador for their district, but they can bring the money back. Okay, they can appropriate funds. They can solicit. They can bring business back to their area, and they can do all. It's amazing the amount of power a congresswoman or a senator has that they can affect change in their locale. And I know this because guess what? When I went out to go talk to donors and say, hey, donors, I'd like to, and I was running for city council, they said, well, you're really only a city councilman. If you were a senator or an assemblyman or a senator, something like that, or a congresswoman, you'd have our, because they knew the power of this. So let's get back to AOC. So what has she done for New York? They did a man on the street thing, and they polled them. They said, well, what has she done? I mean, what kind of legislation has she passed? What kind of goose egg? Literally, not even a golf ball. Okay, I got a golf ball right here. Not even a golf ball. It was a goose egg that she brought. Nothing. She's not passed any legislation. She's not co-sponsored any legislation. As a matter of fact, when she had a chance to do something big, she dropped the ball on this. Okay, you guys remember this? It was the folks from Amazon. Folks from Amazon came to her district and they said, hey, we'd like to bring in this Amazon superstore district or whatever they're going to bring in. 20,000 jobs we can bring in here. And what did she do? Nothing. Now, what could she have done? I guess that's the question. What could she have done? She could have said, oh, no, if you're going to bring in this stuff right here, we want you to come in because that's jobs for my constituents. We want to do 40,000 jobs. We want to do 50,000 jobs. Oh, we need to make it a little sweeter than that. We want, not only do we want that, but we need a new park, and we need a new this, and we need to do that, okay? Because she could have done all kinds of stuff, right? But what did she do? She was the kiss of death, is what she was. That's what AOC was. She had the greatest opportunity to rub elbows with, at that time, Mark, what's his name? Forgot the guy's name who was the owner of Amazon. She could have been rubbing elbows with that guy to this day, but she didn't. So now she wants to contemplate being the president of the United States. Are you kidding me? She couldn't even, I've said this before, guys. AOC could not give away cavities if she owned Hershey's. She couldn't give it to kids. That's how bad she is. And you know what? She looks good on TikTok or Instagram, okay? Okay, I'll admit it, okay? But other than that, that's it for her. There's just no way. So, is she ready for prime time? I don't think so. Not even. I don't care how much you think she is. She's not. So, let's go on to something else. Well, anyways, when we come back, folks, we're going to talk about James Carville. He went ballistic on a podcast. And what I mean by ballistic, he mentioned something about these DSA guys that I don't think they even saw this coming, okay? So when we come back, folks, we'll talk about James Carville on the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Sherman Ray, talk to you in a minute. Bye-bye. And folks, we're back. This is Sherman Rain. This is the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you guys once again for being a part of the broadcast. And I really can't And I want to thank something interesting happened just about a week ago, something like that, maybe 2 weeks ago. We've been battling with Facebook, just battling with them for a couple of years now. And the last time we really battled with them, and I get emails from them all the time. Your website's your account's going to be shut down, and people have been complaining about you. This, that, the other thing. I mean, this has been something terrible that they have been getting so much grief from these guys about, and it's because we're a conservative outlet, and they know that we're trying to get the word out about conservative stuff, especially during the election. During the election, boy, they shut me down all the time. They shadow banned me, the whole thing. Well, now, guys, they are asking us, please, can you put out more stuff every day? And our stuff is going viral. I mean, it's going viral. I'm so excited about it. I don't know. It's going crazy. And Facebook is really being one of our best friends now, because they realize how much, that we're not telling people what to believe. We're helping people to get the news out. And that's really kind of what it's all about. We just want to get the news out as much as we possibly can. And so it's been exciting. It's been exciting to be a part of something like that. And our stuff is going viral, and you can be a part of it too, folks. So we encourage you, go to our website, go to thenevadaconservative.com, subscribe to it, let us know, donate if you can, because we'd like to make this something amazing, so that more and more people can actually get a hold of our stuff on our website, on our Facebook page. Go ahead and join our Facebook page. We're up to a couple of thousand people on that. We'd like to be up to like 100. We'd like to have 1 million people on it, guys. Can you imagine what it would be like, especially going up to the elections coming out, of what it would be like to have 1 million people on our, that we could actually try to get the message out about, because we need people voting, okay? Anyways, let's talk a little bit about James Carville. So James Carville was on a podcast, and we mentioned this. It's almost been a month ago now, because it was the 23rd, I believe it was, of last month, that we started telling the Democrat Party, guys, guess what? You better get your heads out of the sand, because the Democrat Socialists of America, they're coming after you guys. They're coming after you with all of their might. And we were kind of hoping that they would, hear us, but they really just never did. They just never did. And as a result of that, what has happened to the Democrat Socialists of the Democrat Party? They're being taken over. They're being taken over by the DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America. And I think right now they have about 35 candidates now that are poised to run for the offices in November. So there's no joke. I mean, they're taking, and guess what? They're not getting any pushback from the Democrat Party. Okay, they're just not getting any pushback at all. But you've got some people on the left who are finally saying, hey, I think we made a mistake. And one of them is James Carville. So we got a real short tape that we'd like you to listen to and get a little idea of what James Carville thinks about what these DSA agents are doing to his party. So this is James Carville, and he's on a podcast, and he'll talk to you a little bit about what he thinks the Democrat Socialists stand for. Okay, roll 2 now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you why this is typical. A progressive House candidate who served in a battleground district in Michigan as law and Democratic Party officials once said black U.S. political leaders are a pillar of the capitalist and imperialist American establishment. Yeah, Jim Clyburn is part of that. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly who Martin Luther King was. Yeah, you're right. That's who John Lewis was. And these people are paternalistic, and it's a bunch of overeducated little white turds who think they know more than other people know, and they know what's wrong. And they're going to go and then you got, they're talking about indicting Netanyahu. And that the problem is you have a candidate, a DSA candidate in New York saying we should be against interracial dating. Let me tell you something. These people, and these are to all my black friends and people like me, they think they know more than you do. they think their history is more glorious than yours. They think that Lenin was a more glorious human being than Martin Luther King or Frederick Douglass. That's what they really think. And if you know that, you don't know your history.
Wow. Yeah. 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 He's was that amazing? Um, I don't know. Where do you want to start on that? This is pretty amazing. That finally, and James Carville is a nut. There's a, and I put this out before, guys. That should Republicans even be helping Democrats clean up their mess? I don't think we should, but it's kind of interesting to finally see them having a deal with these Democrat socialists. Zohran Mamdani, remember, and if you've been following us all week long, we've been talking about his. It actually started over the weekend. Well, actually started as he was running for office, tell you the truth, where he basically said that he wanted to have Benjamin Netanyahu arrested for war crimes and stuff like that. And it's pretty obvious. This guy's an anti-Semite, and he want any Jew, arrested. So it didn't really, Benjamin Netanyahu, it really didn't matter. He could have picked anybody. But he kept fixating on this Benjamin Netanyahu thing. Well, not only that, but these guys are anti-Semitic. They're anti-black, according to James Carville. They are, and not, don't just take James Carville, his word for it. Jim Clyburn, congressman, I think he's out of South Carolina or something like that, or maybe Georgia. He went to one of these DSA rallies, and the thing he mentioned, this is just recently, folks, this is in the last couple of days. He said, that he looked around and he didn't see too many people that looked like him there. I.e., he didn't see any black folks there. And he said that was all he needed to make his decision about the Democrat Socialists of America. Now, here's the interesting thing about it, is that Clyburn, I thought, was a DSA member, but evidently he's not. He's also starting to turn in his DSA card. You've got guys like Fetterman. You've got a few other people that are finally starting to wake up to the fact that the DSA does not have the Democrat Party, their welfare, their good welfare, at the core of who they are. Okay, they're using the Democrat Party as a vehicle to get to where they want to go. They're using their infrastructure, they're using their money, they're using their voter rolls, they're using their, their call sheets, they're using their tactics, and they're saying, guess what? Until we can build our own infrastructure, and we're going to use you, Democrats. And guess what Democrats are doing? They're falling for it. Hook, line, and sinker. They're falling for it, guys. And this is the scary part about the DSA, is that the Democrats have trained, they've groomed, and now they're seeing the fruit of their labor. And guys like James Carville is going, they're little white turds. I've never heard anybody ever refer to a DSA member as a white turd, but it's probably appropriate. They are vile, guys. You've got the squad, which I've never heard James Carville go against the squad, but it sounds to me like that's who he's going against, because they're part of the DSA. This Abdul Al-Sayed, the 35 candidates who are now claiming Democrat seats. And here's the thing about it. James Carville, maybe he was, I take it back. Maybe he actually had been sounding the alarm against the DSA a while ago. Because he was saying, and it really just wasn't resonating, hadn't gotten out there in the blogosphere. But I do recall him saying that the DSA is not running against Republicans, they're running against Democrats. Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, he did say that. Okay, but now, guys, guess what? It's getting some traction. Okay, but we here at the Nevada Conservative, as soon as we saw these guys, we went, guys, guess what? Democrats, you better get your head out of the sand, because they're coming after you. And they wouldn't listen. And now, guess what? You've got what's her name? The Pocahontas. What is her name? Forgot the lady's name. Oh, anyways, doesn't really matter. She's going. At first she said Graham Plattner was her guy because he's a real man, and now she's saying Al Sayed is her guy, and she seems to think that she's going to make it through because she's placating to these guys. It ain't going to happen. You sound like that Jewish guy, O'Donnell. He thought, what? We'll be fine until they primaried his butt. Yeah. And they're going to primary every one of you Democrats, little by little by little by little, until you guys accept them. And it is very, okay, this is a very Muslim type thing, guys. Okay. I know I'm going to go, I'm not going to go over, guys. I'm going to end this pretty quick here. This is the playbook of every communist regime there is. Okay. Either you play their way or you get out of the way. And the Democrats, Socialists of America, are playing hardball, guys. And Democrats don't know what to do with this. They just don't know what to do with this at all. They're getting, and now James Carville is saying, listen up, Democrats, listen up, black folks. They don't like you, and I don't like them, so I don't have to worry about this because I already woke up. They don't like black folks either. Okay, they want their people in there. Okay, they want people who will be socialist / communist. That's it. So it's time to wake up, folks. I mean, we're gonna have to end. We really do. We're gonna, because I don't want to go too far over here. You got to wake up, folks. I think that's probably the biggest takeaway from this whole thing, is that, and we did this, and you can look back on our Facebook page and you can see if we were prophetic at the time. It was June 23rd that we put up a video, and we just rebroadcasted it today, because we want to remind everybody, guys, we were right. We called it then. We're calling it again now. And it's really on you, Democrats. It's on you guys to get your stuff together, because we're not going to worry too much about you. If you fall, you fall because you're still Democrats. Okay. You still want LGBTQ. You still want, abortion on demand. You still want all the most foul things in the world. Okay. Okay. But just like we did in the Civil War, we kind of feel sorry for you. Okay. So we don't want you dead. We want you converted. We want you to start seeing the light of America first, pro-family, pro-life, pro-Jesus, that kind of thing. Okay. So, but you need to watch your backs on these guys, because these DSA guys, they're coming after you. Anyways, once again, I want to thank you all for being a part of the broadcast today, folks. It really has been a super pleasure, and we hope that that you're able to check us out on our website. We hope that you're able to check us out on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, the whole thing, So anyways, write to us, okay? Write to us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com, thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. It's been Sherman Ray for the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Thank you guys once again for being a part of the broadcast. We'll see you again next week.